Go ahead, guys.
Jonas, you started Katie at right back today. I remember a couple of seasons ago you started her there against Guro Reiten because you felt like having the left foot on that side was handy in defending against her. Lauren Hemp, similar player. Was that part of your thinking today?
No, not really, but it could have been. No, my thinking about that was that I thought that when we have played City before, I think we have been tricked into playing into wide areas too quickly, and I think they're really strong when they use the sideline as a defender. So by playing Katie on the wrong side, I think naturally we get a lot more central passes out of that, and that makes we connect better, and the longer we can stay central with the ball against City and then playing the ball out wide later, I think that creates better situations. I think there is a couple of situations in the first half when we used to play Alessia and she then plays the ball out to Chloe Lacasse and it isolates into quite good 1v1 situations, for example, and I'm pleased with that part. So no, it wasn't so much of a defending for that, more attacking.
And when you play City, I mean, obviously you need the ball to do anything, but sometimes it feels like games are about possession and sometimes territory. And I wondered how much this was about territory for Arsenal as much as anything.
Yeah, I think we become too low in the second half, too passive. I was quite pleased with how we dealt with the defending crosses today. I think that has been a weakness of ours before, but we did that much better today. But we concede too many crosses against Manchester City, and we do that because we get too low in our positioning in the second half. I think first half is much better from a territorial perspective in the way we play. But I think players a little bit tired as well. They're coming back from international break, so instead of trying to change that in the second half, that's why I brought in Stina, because I thought that if that's the way we're going to look for it, instead of forcing and maybe being too what should you say, shallow inside, if they try to hollow is the word, hollow. If they try to play inside, let's stay compact. But now when we win the ball, we will have one of the best players in the world to run in behind, and that proved to be a good choice.
How important was this 3 points?
Yeah, this boring answer is like, for me, like any game in the league, it's super important to get the 3 points. So it's like, and I think that's where you sort of need to be just really consistent in this. Like, you can't be year and year and year. It's like, are there things we can improve today? Yes, there is. Other things I'm really pleased with? Yes, there is as well. And but we need to go again Thursday against Bristol. So, and I think that has been pleasing with the group, is that we constantly develop a little bit, but we need to keep doing that. We're far from a finished product.
But in terms of the psychology of the team, it must be a bit of a boost for a win against a big title rival like City, like at this point of the season when it's not necessarily gone to plan so far.
Yeah. I was a little bit surprised, like before the game, to be honest. It almost felt like we were portrayed as the underdog here, but in my experience being here, we won 3 times out of 3 when I've been the Arsenal coach here against Manchester City. This was the 4th victory out of 4, if you include the Conti Cup. I think that's a very strong record against Manchester City. So
they've won 1 in 9 here.
Yeah.
Not bad.
Did the first 15 minutes go to plan? Did you have to change anything?
No, they didn't. First 15 minutes stressed me out. I don't think anyone tried to plan to lose the ball in the way that we did here. It didn't surprise us the way that they played, but obviously we can see our decision making is a little bit slow in that, and we and they get some touches of the ball that could have ended really badly for us. So no, that didn't go to plan. But happy that the players kept calm. We changed a few details onto it, so we start to play our way much better out of their pressure. But no, that wasn't to plan.
Doctor said that you guys maybe played with a bit more bite than maybe in previous games. Was that something that you think was really important in that second half in particular, where it felt like the game was strong in either balance?
Yeah, we spoke a lot about having a holistic performance and saying that it feels like when you're playing against low blocks that it becomes very much of tactic boards football. We're 3v2 here it's 4v3 and to move the ball, and be like, yeah, that's one part of football, that part, but football is also running, football is also dueling, football is fighting for inches, football is about having mental strength and saying you fail once, but you're going to try your best the next time as well. So we spoke about those qualities and saying like those are equally important, and actually this game here is going to be easier to portray those things. They can also be done when you're playing against a low block, but today it's easier to portray those things as a team and understand that we need to do both. And in order to beat a team like City, you need to do both. And I think we did. We wasn't perfect in any of them, but we were good enough in both of them, and the combination of that allowed us to win.
Yeah, just on those attributes, I think they were quite similar when you beat City here last season. Case, however you call it, goal. So was that a performance you kind of spoke about when you mentioned those attributes?
It was. We had a nice little medley video clip of good moments against City here on Meadow Park and what qualities we wanted to see, and that's both technical but it's also physical attributes. So complete holistic view on the performance.
Out of the performances so far this season, how do you feel about this one? Are you the happiest, or you still think there's previous games that were better?
My honest answer to that is like one place where we have struggled lately against, for example, have been Man United. I thought our display going there went a little bit under the radar, for example, because if I compare our performance this year to last year, I think we are much closer to win the game this year than before. So I think, and the other games has been so different because it's just been like low blocks, and we have interesting stats where we compare all the teams in the league and we see by far we're the team that has been playing against low blocks the most. And of course that paints the picture in a game. This is a very different game because it combines all different phases in football, and you need to be good at that. So I'm gonna try and stay boring and grounded with this.
Jonas, having got the winning goal and then the game having to sort of stop, what did you say to your team to kind of keep them in the zone? I mean, that was a very unusual finish to the game.
Yeah, it was, but we changed formation. So we clarified the roles on how that was going to look. And then City changed formation, but we saw that before it started. So then we could speak about that and we could clarify the roles again. And I think that's so important, like when you bring in so we can have that clarity. And I think we managed the game really well the last 10 minutes. I don't think that was so stressful. Could have been worse.
I get your reaction to the news yesterday that Emma Hayes is leaving Chelsea at the end of the season. Obviously, you and Emma have had some great battles over the years, and I'm sure we'll continue to do that this season.
No, like I don't know the reason why she's leaving, but there's no doubt that she will leave a legacy at Chelsea. I think a legacy that all football managers would be very proud of leaving, and she should be very proud of that. And I think me and all other managers are going to try and make life in WSL as difficult and unpleasant for her as possible before she leaves. And after that, I think she's going to be one of the first ones after the season that I might pick up the phone and give a call to, because I do think she has some really interesting ideas about football and how to build a football team and so on. And when you're not direct rivals, I would love to spend a little bit of time with her and listening to her experiences at Chelsea and so on. But that phone call has to wait, and we have to remain competitors, and hopefully she ends in a really bad way at Chelsea. But that's not going to ruin her legacy anyways for that. And then best of luck for everything, right?
Thank you.
Any others all done?
Nice one. Thanks, Jonas.
Thank you.
Thank you.